Good afternoon. So we have a little story to tell you. We had some excitement last night, and not good excitement. This is not the kind of excitement anybody wants. So my daughter and I were at the dining room table making some YouTube videos, and we hear a loud noise. Didn't think a whole lot about it. There's, that you can hear people in the alley, and that you can hear people out back. So I don't even know how long it was, but a few minutes later we hear another crash, and somebody had thrown a rock and broke our dining room window. Now we're standing 2 feet from this window. Luckily, the window is double paned, so it only broke the outside piece of glass. It didn't break both pieces, just the outside one. So anyway, we go running out there, and we don't see anybody. Everybody's gone. We called the police, and I went actually to one of the businesses down the way to see if they had a camera that might have caught, who was out there. Now, this is not an isolated incident. About 3 days ago, we heard a crash. There's a hallway that leads to the emergency exit, and we heard a big crash in there. And so we went running in there to see what was going on, because there's not supposed to be anybody playing in there. And we see 2 juvenile kids running away from the building. One of them had a very identifiable backpack on. So if I see the backpack again, it's going to be pretty easy to know who it is. Anyway, the business owner did not have any camera footage. Actually, what I thought was a camera is actually just a floodlight. So the police are actually reviewing footage from the public library, and they are very hopeful that they're going to catch these kids. So after watching the 2 kids run away a couple days ago, I was talking to one of our neighbors, and he said about 2 months ago, those same 2 kids plus 2 additional kids were throwing rocks at his windows, and I guess one of them stuck his arm through the window before somebody yelled, and they took off running. But the only way to access his windows are to climb on the roof. You have to get on the roof to even get close to those windows. Today I went and I was talking to some of the other business owners, and the lady at the smoke shop said not too terribly long ago, she caught a group of 5 juvenile kids tearing up everything in her dumpster, like throwing trash everywhere, just made a big mess of everything. And she said she made them clean it up. Like I said, I feel like these are the same kids, because we know for sure, the neighbor identified the 2 that were running from the building the other day as 2 of the ones that were trying to get into his window as well. So we are waiting for the landlord to come, and I guess they're going to have to pull the whole window from the building and get it fixed. So now we're going to have this boarded up window, which means even less light in the apartment, and so frustrating. Why can't people just mind their business? And I don't understand. I guess I don't get the thrill of what these kids are doing. So, but they will get caught. The police officer that came out to take the report last night is also the school, one of the school resource officers. So she has I think she kind of has an idea of who these kids are, but she needs proof. So as soon as we get that proof, then hopefully they will put a stop to this, because I mean, kids being kids is one thing, but vandalizing property and breaking windows and, disrupting people's lives, that's a whole other thing that I'm just not okay with. We live in a very quiet area, and I've never really felt unsafe, but I mean, they ripped the screen on our window, so I don't know if they were trying to break in, or I don't know. The light was on because we were in there. Who knows what they were thinking, but anyway, it's still a great day. I refuse to let these little thugs take my joy or steal my peace. So it's all going to be all right. Just a little annoyance, and it'll all work out. But anyway, stay tuned. I will, of course, update everybody as soon as we find more information, and hopefully we will put a stop to these kids. So anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. This is my window that they broke. You see, the screen has recently been ripped. That was not like that before. There's also this big rock, which explains the sound that I heard prior to the window being broke. And the windows that the 4 kids were trying to break into and throwing rocks at are right there. Those are my neighbor's windows. And the only way to access them is by climbing on the roof. So this screen was not cut up previously. There's the broken window again. There's the rock that busted the window. So these kids play on this fire escape. I don't know if they think this building is abandoned or what, but lucky for us, the police are getting the camera footage from that camera on the library. So this is where I was standing last night with my daughter, right here at our dining room table, when somebody threw a rock and busted our window. Luckily, the glass is double paned, so it didn't actually come all the way through. Unfortunately, we didn't see who did it. Well, what a wonderful turn of events today has presented itself. So while I was sitting here recording the video, telling you about what happened last night, I see 2 kids walk by. And guess what one has? The very identifiable backpack. So I go rushing out to take their picture so that I could show it to the police officers. Well, the police officers came after a bunch of lies and excuses, and the kid telling me that there was a homeless person that chased them up the stairs, and that there was some homeless people living in that hallway of the abandoned building, all kinds of lies. The cops have got them to confess. They have been caught. They are going to be charged. Tough lesson, but I mean, it's one that has to be learned. You know, actions have consequences, and that's where we're at. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Have a good day.